And now on to the Middle East, where Israeli troops and Hamas clashed throughout the weekend over the Gaza Strip. Israeli forces shelled several areas of the enclave as tanks rolled into Beit Lahi. There were fierce gun battles in the Zaytun sector of Gaza City, and at least 170 Palestinians were killed in Israeli strikes since Saturday. Now, Israel says it is planning to expand its operation to destroy Hamas, and the fighting continues as mediators picked up the pace of talks on a possible ceasefire to free hostages. However, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said it was not clear whether a hostage deal would materialize, adding that Hamas needed to, quote, come down to a reasonable situation, end quote. Netanyahu convened his war cabinet, which was briefed by the intelligence chiefs who returned from the Paris talks with Qatari, Egyptian, and U.S. mediators. After the Paris meeting, the U.S. said that the mediators had come to an understanding of basic contours of a hostage deal for a temporary ceasefire. The Israeli Prime Minister said that any agreement would just delay, but will not prevent a ground offensive invasion into Rafah. Now, Israel plans to move ahead in Rafah despite international warnings that a ground invasion would have catastrophic consequences for over 1.4 million Palestinians already there. In fact, during the War Cabinet meeting, Israel's military proposed a plan for evacuating civilians from the Gaza Strip. The military statement, however, did not give any details about how or where the civilians would be moved to.
If anyone here thinks that when we reach an agreement to release the hostages in the south and the fire stops, this will make things easier here, they are mistaken. We will continue the fire, and we will do so independently from the south until we achieve our goals. The goal is simple: to withdraw Hezbollah to where it should be, either via a diplomatic agreement or we will do it by force.
Now, responding to Netanyahu's remarks, a senior Hamas official said his comments cast doubt over Israel's willingness to secure a deal.
The true plan for this Israel is to take over and fragment Palestinian lands, and not to allow the Palestinians to determine their destiny themselves. I say that the global community today has a large responsibility to not only stop the aggression on the Gaza Strip, and of course that's important and the urgent priority, but also to work in ending the occupation to allow the Palestinians to determine their destiny themselves. And if it cannot do this, then it has to at least back the Palestinian resistance and end the arming of the occupation while enforcing sanctions on it.
Meanwhile, the Palestinian Authority Prime Minister Mohammed Shtayyeh has submitted his resignation of his government that rules parts of the occupied West Bank.
I have submitted the resignation of the government to the President last Tuesday, which was February 20th, 2024, and today I submit it in writing. This decision comes based on the political, security and economic developments that are related to the offensive on our people in Gaza and the unprecedented escalation in the West Bank and Jerusalem, and to what our people and the Palestinian cause are facing.
He said he was resigning to allow for the formation of a broad consensus among Palestinians about political arrangements post-Israel's war in Gaza. Now, the Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas has been under increasing pressure from Washington to also shake up the Palestinian Authority as international efforts to stop the war intensify. The U.S. has been pushing for the Palestinian Authority to actually realign post-war. From impeachments to inaugurations, if it's a political story, we are on the scene. The race for the White House is heating up.
We're beating Biden.
How dare he say that?
If it's breaking news, we're live with the latest coverage. From the White House, the State Department, and Capitol Hill, we know the issues, but above all, we know the players to bring you the latest in-depth analysis on all the key stories that we're covering. I'm Eric Ham. Join me from Washington here on Firstpost America.